Hello everyone. Well, you join me today with a runny nose and in a state of stress, but we're off to chat to the fairies. Well, if you listen carefully, you can hear the noise of running water. Hopefully you can't hear the noises of the city. But yes, we can. Oh my god, this is so slippy. Walking across a slope is not the best thing to do, so I know the deer have come here. Wow. I kind of run from tree to tree in order to give myself a little bit of grip or or something to hold on to should I fail. It's so green, isn't it? Anyway, here we are. Well, today, in my mind, and in my whole honouring the year system, today is Imbolc. I don't go by the dates the Christians set, because they're not based astrologically. For example, the solstice and equinoxes, or the solstices and equinoxes, are at a 0 degree. 0 degree, 90 degrees apart. Now, precession of the thingies and everything, you know, and the movement of it all, it doesn't matter. That's just an arbitrary 0 degree is enough to go by. We can adjust it if you know, and use the real figures, but it will still work out the same. So in a 90 degree angle, if you divide it into 3, there are 3 30 degrees, and they make up the 12 signs. So each 90 degrees has got 3 signs: 3, 6, 9, 12. 4 3s are 12. So the 0 degrees are on the cardinals, the equinoxes and solstices: Capricorn, Libra, Cancer and Aries. Yeah, there you go, I've gone backwards. That's how well I know it. I know my astrology backwards. Anyway, if you divide 90 into half, which is what today is a midpoint between those, you get 45 degrees. So if you take 30 degrees off of the first sign you come to after 0 degrees, so in this case it was Capricorn, you then have 15 degrees. So 15 degrees of the next sign, which in this case is Aquarius, in the northern hemisphere anyway. So 15 degrees Aquarius is the midpoint, and that is today. So let's have a look at what I brought here, just in case you don't know. I'm sure you know snowdrops. But the other flowers, these ones, that one, that one, that one, and that one, they're hellebores. Now they are, I mean this one, that's a double. These are singles, and that applies to all kinds of flowers like that. And that is a double. In fact, it looks more like a triple, but I think it's a double. I think, well, it's called a double anyway. And I know the man who actually created those. But Nazism in gardening is another video I'm going to do on another channel. Anyway, it still has the beauty anyway. And these two, they're witch hazel. Like little tufty ribbon bits. Two different kinds. I'm not sure exactly what they are. You know, the Latin name is Hemamelis. So I thought I'd bring them down and brighten this place up. And it is underneath. It's underneath a hazel tree. And I'm quite fond of hazels. We have vine and also a poplar which looms right above us. Literally, it is. If it ever falls down, it's coming that way. And I hope that it doesn't. And you can see at the bottom there, you can see how it's bracing down there, so hopefully it'll be alright. I think what I might do at some point is get that really big ivy that's on the side of it there. So I thought I'd come here and just pay my respects, and also to speak to the fairies, because this morning when I went past my local village spring, I noticed there was a massive pile of rocks. There is a video about my spring. I can't even remember what it's called, and I have another one or two even in the making. But basically along my valley, my little coombe as it were, there are 11 springs in a few miles. And in my particular, at the bottom of the hill where I live, like literally 100 meters, there are 6 of them. And one of them is quite similar to this one that we're at here. But when I came past further down where it comes out, and there's a chalice bowl that someone's put in there many years ago, I noticed that on the edge there, someone has bought the house, one of the houses that's on it, on the spring, and they've dug out loads of stone and they've piled stone alongside the verge where the route of the spring runs. So as you probably would guess, I got really angry. And so as I was driving back round, because I drive up on, I mean, it's quite hard to explain this, but I come down the hill, past the springs, up the hill, onto the main road, and past the top part of the spring. And as I was going past, I was connecting with the spirits, and they're really pissed off. And so I thought I'd better come here. Thought I'd seen an interesting mushroom. I might have. We'll investigate on the way back. So I thought I'd come here because here's a story. Now, where I am today, and you notice I don't give away a lot of locations, there is an ancient Celtic spring even further up than here. And this may all be connected to the whole thing. This whole thing is probably a spring, the whole area. Well, what happened was some people, they built a big house, or they bought it. I can't remember how the story goes. But either way, the people in the big house, and there is only one big house, they diverted the path of the spring. Now, there are a few of us up here, and we feel stuff, we know, we communicate with the spirits and the, you know, elemental or other. And we just thought that they were really unhappy, so we went and we cleared the land around it, and we did other things, and it's really hard because it keeps getting dumped on. Anyway, not long after, the big house caught fire. So I actually came down the next day. I couldn't get down here because there was fire engines and the whole area was like thick with smoke. And then it got rebuilt. Now, I have a feeling there was a fire 3 times. One of them wasn't too serious, and then the final one basically burnt it completely. I went and had a look round. It was quite sad. There was a sewing machine room, obviously, and in the middle stood the table and a sewing machine, and the rest of the room was just charred. I don't think there was any ceiling to it either. This was a downstairs room. This was a downstairs room. And, you know, the spirits were pissed off. If they're pissed off, they'll do stuff. And some of it can be quite serious. So I've come here to talk to the spirits of this thing and see what I can do. Because, you know, I don't really like being angry, because that's not the way, is it? But I certainly feel it. Angry, upset. Like, what are these people doing? Ruining our world. All these special places, once they're gone or destroyed, they're gone. I know of a few, many in fact. They're just gone. So loud, isn't it? Let's see if I can see it. And I did want to go and wander through here, but I tell you what, wandering through here with a camera is not going to work. Let me show you. Don't know if you... There's water coming down through there. It's just so noisy. It's great though. Imbolc is a time of honouring springs, often in the name of Bridget. Vihig Blodovith, isn't she the flower girl associated with Imbolc Springs? This is so hard. Imbolc actually literally means ewe's milk, because this used to be the lambing season. It might still be, but do you know, over the years I think these things have moved, which is interesting. And I did see something interesting when I was looking, so let's go and spot it for you. Oaks drop limbs every so often when they feel like it. I would say it's part of my myth. The myth of oak. There we go, that's what I saw. It's over. I'm not quite sure what kind of fungus it was. Does look like dryad saddle. But look, the deer have been here. Looks like, is that young muntjac? I would think so. That's a muntjac, isn't it? And I know that they are commonly through here. There's interesting bone there. Well, when I first moved here, the last thing, my last journey with all my stuff, I passed an owl sat on the fence at the top when I turned in, and I think it was a tawny owl. And then I couldn't sleep because I was so excited, and then all night the muntjac were barking to each other like crazy across the valley. Good job I wasn't trying to sleep because they were so noisy. One of them must have been so close to me. And the neighbours that have bought the house where the spring head is, they've created all kinds of mess. What is it with people who move into places, don't really know much about them, and then just cut everything down? You know, there are ways. And I mean, I have a kind of vested interest because I used to help with the garden sometimes, but I knew the people who lived there, and they, you know, they'd created the garden, done most of the work themselves, or pretty much all the work themselves. And then new people move in, don't give a fuck about the spring, and just leave it into a mess, make it into a mess, when it could be so beautiful. So a rant on garden designers will be coming. I don't know whether it'll be this channel though. Well, you know, people who go in and stamp themselves on somewhere rather than letting somewhere show them how to make it. I've always liked that little bit up there for some reason. And there's that oak from a different angle. Anyway. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Ta-da.